I guess it goes without saying that Into the Spider-Verse is my very favorite Spider-Man movie and my very favorite superhero movie of all time. And one of the reasons for that is how the spider sense is represented when Miles Morales discovers he has it, and how he discovers he has the spider sense, which is Spider-Man's intuitive power, which helps him, it's like an early warning system for danger, is Miles suddenly notices everything. Like, he's walking down the hall of his boarding school and he's saying, like, why am I so sweaty? Why are my pants so tight? Why is everyone looking at me? Why is the voice in my head so loud? And I love when he just stops and looks at a classmate and says, whoa, and she's really tall. That is one of the best representations of being a Virgo. Happy Virgo season, everybody. Make sure to give the Virgo in your life a hug, but, you know, a careful hug. Don't get their outfit messed up. Virgos hate that. Okay, and don't mess up their hair, and don't get them dirty. All right. Just maybe give them a friendly wave. They might like that better. I'm a Virgo. I have Mercury in Virgo and Venus in Virgo. And I have to say, those two planetary placements, especially the Mercury placement, it makes you a Virgo. Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. They and Gemini are the two Mercury-ruled signs. And while Gemini are known to be the more cerebral of Mercury's daughters, Virgo is the mutable sign. It is the sign which relates to the world and to their intelligence in a practical and helpful way. That is why they are known as the sign of service. And it makes sense that Miles Morales is a Virgo man because, hey, he's Spider-Man. He's a superhero dedicated to helping people. So it makes sense that he is a Virgo. So, one thing about Virgos is, and we're going to talk a whole lot about Virgos because you've never known anyone more up in their head than a damn Virgo. But one of the things I love about the show The X-Files is there are characters like Miles Morales, and they get their intuitive powers just from paying attention. And it's not like Miles, who just kind of gets it overnight. We have people like Clyde Bruckman. And Clyde Bruckman became so obsessed with the details of the Big Bopper's death back in the 50s that, as he tells Mulder and Scully, he began to see the details in everyone's life and death. And he just gave himself that power from just paying attention. Another character is the creepy author in Milagro. He's another one. And you know what? We need Virgos. Like with my Leo sun sign, I used to feel shame about my Virgo placements because Virgos have a reputation for being very picky, very up in their heads, very fussy, very nervous, just not a lot of fun to be around. And the more I thought about that, I'm like, yes. But the world doesn't just want Virgos, they need Virgos. I'm thinking about, hunter-gatherer societies. We needed those people who could imitate the squirrel noises accurately to lure the squirrels to us. We needed the people who would know which mushroom wasn't going to kill you and which one was going to give you powerful hallucinations. And the Virgos are the people that do that stuff. Imagine if we lived in a world full of Sagittarians. That would be chaos. And I love Sagittarians. I married a Sagittarian. And they have a beautiful spirit. But could you imagine that? Everyone having that? No. We need practical Virgos sprinkled in. like cookie dough in a Dairy Queen blizzard. I always see Virgos. Like in my videos, I said Aries are like the firefighters on 9/11. They're rushing into the building. They want to stop the danger. They want to stop this threat to human life and to home and hearth. The Cancer people are there as like the EMT workers or the first responders. They go to the sick and injured and they're like, how can I get this person to safety? But I see Virgos as the ER doctors and the surgeons and the nurses and the CNAs. They are the people doing the nitty gritty, being very specific and very practical and very logical to help people. I see Aries, Cancer, and Virgo as the three signs of service. I know Virgo gets a rap for being the sign of service because their symbol is the Vestal Virgin from ancient Rome. And the Vestal Virgins were responsible for keeping the community fires always going. That was their job. And that's where the sign of Virgo comes from. Many people call them the fire keepers. For that reason, I wrote that Virgos are sexy nerds. And that is so true. A Virgo is an earth sign, and they're a mutable sign, which means they're kinky as all fuck. And that is a Virgo stereotype that I will take to the damn bank. Virgos are some of the kinkiest people you will ever meet. You know why? Because they pay attention to shit. That's why. So they're going to know everything that pleases their partner. They're just going to know it right away because they're paying attention. And I love that. Like, that's how they get their esoteric abilities and then their sexy abilities. So there really is nothing sexier than a hot nerd, and male or female. So right now we're going to talk about some Virgo traits because I'm a Virgo, you know, and I gotta say Virgos represent. But we're going to talk about some Virgo traits right now, and with each trait, I'm going to talk about a Virgo fictional character that I adore, and I got a lot, so y'all stay with me, okay? And by the way, these are all sexy nerds, okay? All of them wear glasses, and when they do, they look cuter, okay? So just stay with me, okay? Virgo stress research. So when Virgos are hit with bad, troubling, life-changing news, instead of just letting the grief or the shock wash over them, they want to do something to fix the problem, and that leads to them stress researching. I stress research a lot, and I do it at the most traumatizing, troubling times of my life. I remember when I got the news that I was going to miscarry my first child, I couldn't grieve. I had to research. I just was researching everything, like, well, how can I stop this? What can I do? And there was nothing I could do. I just had to let it wash over me. Which is a problem Virgos have. But it makes Virgos, I would say, good in emergency situations. But it can also make them kind of troubling in emergency situations, like speaking from me. Because we are a little ball of anxiety. And that leads us to want to find out things, to have knowledge as power, as an armor. And I did that with my cancer diagnoses too. Instead of just grieving and feeling the shock, I was just researching, like, what should I eat? What should I wear? What's going to happen to me? I was just obsessively researching instead of just feeling it. And the fictional character who does that best is my girl Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I have never felt more seen by an animated horse than Twilight Sparkle. I love... She does it throughout the series. I'd say in every episode. But I'm thinking of the two-parter premiere of the series where just... Nightmare Moon's returned. Everyone is just losing their damn marbles. And where is Twilight? She's in the library. I'm also thinking of that scene from Avatar: The Last Airbender where Sokka, who I believe is a Virgo man, he says, I'm going to spend my vacation in the library. And that is just a Virgo. If you want to make a Virgo happy, say we're going to the library, kids. It will make them happier than if you said we're going to damn Chuck E. Cheese, okay? Virgos love the library, and they do it because they're smart. Virgos are very smart, but they will be the last people to tell you that. Because Virgos are very modest, too. So, Virgos are all about the acts of service, but instead of other signs who perform acts of service, like I'm thinking of Leo or Pisces, they do it, and no shade to Leos or Pisces, but y'all know y'all are like this. I'm a Leo and a Pisces. Okay, Leo Sun, Pisces Moon. I do this too. They do it so that it reflects well upon them, and they feel good about that reflection. Virgos do it because that is the way they feel validated. Like, they have to do it. It's in them. Asking a Virgo not to perform acts of service as their love language is like asking a cat not to chase a mouse, or a fish not to breathe underwater. It's how we're hardwired. And this can lead to people taking advantage of Virgos. Not because Virgos are in any way gullible or dumb. They just want to help. It's just in their DNA. And I'm thinking of Monica Reyes from The X-Files. She's a Virgo moon, and she's my favorite Virgo of all time, played by Annabeth Gish, of course. Annabeth Gish is a Pisces sun, like Monica. And I don't know what her moon sign is, but Monica is a Virgo moon. And you see that with Monica in the series. She's the member of the spooky squad that is always picking up the slack. Like, in season 8 and season 9, anytime anyone has any problem, they're saying, like, well, we gotta call Monica. She will come take care of this problem. And it just weighs on the poor girl. I'm thinking of the episode, Existence, where she has to go to, the hot springs in Georgia and deliver Scully's baby on her own, even though, she has no midwife experience or anything like that. And I love how, like, Doggett just calls her up, and he's like, hey, Mon, look, the redhead's gonna go into labor, and I need you. And she's like, and he's like, yeah, just get your bag. And she's like, well, okay, I don't have any midwife experience, but I'm gonna do my damn best, I guess. And that's just how Virgos are. Virgos will drop every fucking thing to help you. That's just in their nature. My mom's a Virgo moon, Leo, Virgo moon cusp. My brother's a Virgo moon. And of course I'm a Virgo. So I understand why we're like this. Monica also has her little quiet panic attacks. And that is something Virgos do. Virgos suppress and they hold in their stress and their anxiety because they do not want to hurt the people they love and the people around them. Virgos are just, that night on Monty Python, The Green Knight, and he gets his arm slashed off, and King Arthur's like, oh, hey, man, you just got your arm cut off. And the knight's like, oh, that's just a flesh wound. I'll walk it off. It's fine. Like, that's a Virgo. That's what a Virgo does. Like a Virgo, like a lion will roar like the lion with a thorn in her paw. But a Virgo's just going to be like, well, guess my foot got cut off. Better sprint this one off. And that's what Monica does in the series. She's just like, hey, I can't let anyone down. I'll just push it down. So, yeah, Virgos do acts of service for validation, and I can think of 2 more characters who have my Virgo Venus placements, and that is Alana Bloom from Hannibal and Fox Mulder from The X-Files, and they're both Venus and Virgo, guy and gal. And I see that in their just blatant self-sacrifice. Now, she's a Leo and he's a Sagittarian, and Leos and Sagittarians love attention and they love self-sacrifice, like Pisces. But I think this comes from their Venus and Virgo, because Venus and Virgo, they will give the shirt off their back for anyone, but especially for the people they care about. And I don't, as smart as they are, and Virgo Venus are so smart, not to boast or anything, but they're so smart. Like Alana's a psychiatrist and Mulder's a profiler. Now Mulder can be pretty damn gullible. Okay, I'm not excusing him, but like he's an FBI criminal profiler, you know. But when it comes to the people they care about, those people could literally commit murder, like in Alana's case with Hannibal, and they would just be like, I never saw it coming, just because in the same way Virgo can pay attention to everything, they can block out all the red flags. They can paint all the red flags green when it comes to people they love. And you know you do it, Virgo. I do it too. Okay. So, yeah, and, you know, people talk about, like, Pisces and Sagittarius, how they will always see the good in people. But I think that's just because they understand the human spirit in everyone has that potential. With Virgo Venus, and with Virgo in general, they see, because they're so attentive to detail, they see even the potential of what you could become. And that's why they will not give up on people, because they still see that potential. I'm thinking of Monica Reyes in the episode Hellbound, and with these, you know, ex-cons, that even her partner, Doggett, who's a really good guy, was judging, and he was like, well, you know, they had their stake in life and they squandered it. And Monica's like, no, like, they still deserve a voice. They still deserve justice and compassion, and no matter what they did in the past. And that is Virgo love. Like, she's like, I can see how these people can live a better and a happier life, and I don't want to give up on them. And you see that with Monica's friends, like, with the Spooky Squad, too. And with Brad. Oh, God, with Brad. Virgos will stay in toxic relationships. They get a reputation for being very picky when they choose their partners, and that's true. I am a Virgo Venus, and I was very picky, but once they're in it for the long haul. And they will stay in that when it becomes toxic, too, like Monica did with Brad, unfortunately. Oh, Brad, you had such a chance to evolve, man. I don't know. Another thing I said about Virgos is they are survivors. I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna work harder. And I always think about my man, Walter Skinner. Now, Walter Skinner is a Virgo rising, and of all the Virgo placements, I think Virgo rising is the most just all up Virgo in your business. Like, Skinner is a Gemini sun and a Libra moon. And when I learned that when I was a kid, I was like, whoa, really? Like, Gemini sun? And it's his Virgo rising that just makes him so stringent and stern and, like, gruff. But underneath all of that is that Virgo mushy love for all people, and especially his people. I always say in season 9, Skinner embraced his role as a dad cab to his FBI kids. I just got done reviewing the episode John Doe, and like when Monica and John Doggett have no way out, and they're fleeing the Mexican police, like, there's Skinner. He's right there to rescue them. And that's how Skinner is. He's always right there for Mulder and Scully and for Doggett and Reyes. And he's just that person they're always going to turn to. Love a Virgo rising. My brother's a Virgo rising. Lovely people. I wrote they're always going the extra mile. I think now the consensus among astrologers is that Jesus Christ was an Aries Pisces cusp man. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I think historians believe on, like, the majority of historians believe that he was indeed not born in what we know as December, because the shepherds were taking their, ewes to the pasture to have their lambs, and that only happened in the early spring. But I like to believe that Jesus must have had Virgo somewhere prominently in his natal chart, and I always think of the story where he feeds the thousands with the loaves and the fishes, and like, that's such a Virgo thing. My mom is I'm not saying my mom is like Jesus Christ, but she's like that. Like, she will take the smallest thing and serve so many people. Like, mom can cook these just suppers, and they'll feed so many people, and it's just delicious, and it's just simple, good food. Like, and she knows, and she can whip it up really fast, and she's always there. Like, if there's a family in the neighborhood with a death in the family, or a sickness in the family, like, she'll be right there with a casserole, or saying, like, hey, can I, like, watch your dog, or pick up your kids. And that's Virgo. And I really think when Jesus was preaching in the New Testament about service, that's what he was talking about, that spirit of Virgo, where it's like, look around, like, you can find something to do. And that's what Virgos do. When you're around a Virgo, you're never going to be bored, because they will always find stuff for you to do. Virgos love to work, and they love to make you work. Ask my kid. Another Virgo trait is they're hard asses. They're badasses. Virgos are so loving and nurturing, and they're all about service and kindness and protecting, like the weaker people. But they're hard asses. And you'd never know it. It's like them being smart. Like, you'd never know it. They seem so meek and shy. I'm thinking of Annie Blackburn from Twin Peaks, and Annie is a Virgo sun. And I think about Wyndham Earle taking her into the Black Lodge. And at that point, I would have been peeing my pants and crying, and Wyndham would have had to, like, drag me by the foot. And Annie is just staring him dead in the face, and she's like, you just wait till my boyfriend shows up, mother. She's like, you just wait. You just wait. And, like, all throughout her time in the Black Lodge, she has that attitude, like, fuck these demons. Like, I got this. It ain't got me. And she just has that, like, hard ass approach to the whole situation, and she's just like this little sweet mousy girl who was raised in a nunnery and who bakes pies, and you put her around demons and she's like, F you demons, F off. Like, she's such a hard ass. I love Annie. Her and Dale are just, oh god, made for each other. I wrote down quiet panic attacks. And I talked about Monica Reyes in the episode Existence. She's just having a low-grade panic attack through that whole episode. She'll go out to smoke a cigarette, and she's just like, oh my god, how am I going to do this? How the fuck am I going to do this? And then Scully's like, Monica, and she's like, oh, I'm fine, Dana. I'm fine. Everything's great. Poor little baby. So now we are going to talk about some tips that Virgos need to do to just, I think, relax. I follow these tips. I followed these tips through a decade of cancer treatments. Cancer treatment sucks, but let me tell you how much fun it is for Virgos. Oh boy, who pay attention to everything, who hate being uncomfortable and unclean. Oh, it's so much fun. Also, childbirth and breastfeeding. But we get through it. We're Virgos. So here's some tips. Virgo, when something very troubling happens to you, instead of stress researching, and I know you want to do that, and I know that's what makes a Virgo, and it's important in some emergency situations, but Virgo, when things happen, feel it. Okay, just let the grief and the shock wash over you. You are human. It will not make you anything less if you do not. Give yourself time to grieve and time to process. During this past decade, like, it's been a roller coaster for my family. It's just been like, my daughter was born, I got my first cancer diagnosis, I had chemo, radiation, first transplant, went in remission, got the next cancer diagnosis, went through the transplant, went through all that, then got the breast cancer diagnosis. So it's just one thing after the other. And one thing I realized this past year is, one thing that was making me so sick is I hadn't had the time to just grieve and to just process that. And we're Virgos. We're supposed to be strong and tough because people depend upon us, and we know that. But we are still people, and we still need to grieve. Grieving is a form of self-care. I didn't get to grieve my miscarriage of my first baby, and that hurt me very badly. And this past year, I've just been in this mode of grieving all of these things that I never got to, and it's been very healthy. Another thing, Virgo, is our impossibly high standards. And, okay, look, we're the surgeons, we are the playwrights, we are the animators who go in there and paint the ear tips on Bambi. Those animators from the 30s and 40s, my God, they were freaking magicians. Those are Virgos, okay? We have impossibly high standards because we have to, because society depends upon it. And we hold other people to that as well. But remember this, Virgo. The standards you're holding other people to, you are projecting. You're holding yourself to that same impossible standard. And you need to quit. I'm glad we have high standards. It's what makes us us, okay? And when we choose partners, we can choose pretty good ones because we can be so choosy, all right? But just remember, everyone is not as capable as you, or just like you, or have the same preferences as you, and you need to remember that. So when you want something done to a standard, think of what that person can accomplish and hold them to that standard, and then you will feel better. Or that's helped me. This is what has helped me. I am not a psychologist or even a professional astrologist. It's just as a cancer survivor, these are the things that have helped me. And as a Virgo. Okay? Get outside. That's another tip. Virgos need the earth. They are an earth sign. And garden. Virgos love to garden on the whole, as what I've seen. My mom says staying busy is how we cope, and I agree with that, and I disagree with that, because I'm always shocked that Dana Scully isn't a Virgo, because she does that. She works to cope, but so does Monica. Monica works to cope. And you know, staying busy is good, okay? It helps me a lot to stay busy. I don't focus on negative things, but those negative things are still there. You're still going to have to unpack them. And they can come out in a very helpful way or a very negative way. And they have to come out. So meditate, journal, garden, but get outside. Hang up hummingbird feeders. Oh my Lord, I love hummingbird feeders. Put out bird seed. If you know of a farm, go to a farm. Just get outside. Virgos do better when they're outside. Bike. I said plant, bake, do a handicraft or a hobby that requires both cerebral and practical skill. That could be quilting, crochet, macrame, making videos for YouTube. Virgos tend to be great cooks. Looking at you, Annie Blackburn. And I also think Norma, her sister, is a Virgo Venus. And they're great cooks. Virgos are great cooks. Virgos have great hair. Okay. Leos get a lot of praise for their hair, and Leo hair is great. I'm a Leo, I have great hair. But Virgo hair is, on average, just freaking awesome. It's like the hair in those old animes, like the 80s animes, with just the giant hair. Yeah. I'm thinking Sailor Moon. That's more 90s than 80s, but yeah, just amazing hair. Amazing hair. I said, do something each day that is simple for pleasure, not objectively practical. Okay? Just Virgos, I know you like to serve people, and I know you like to work hard, and you're always going not just the extra mile, you're going the extra 300 miles. But every day, it's like Dale Cooper said, give yourself a little inconsequential treat. Just do something that doesn't have any real practical purpose. Like, just, I mean, a practical purpose that serves others. Just let it serve you. Like, read a book. Listen to an audio book. Learn a new hobby you've been wanting to do. Like, that's important, Virgo. Please do that. Okay? But, and I said, but still value your particularness and meticulousness, because it is what makes us Virgos. It's what makes us awesome. Okay, let's talk about pairings we love. And I've talked about some of these in past videos. We're still going to talk about them because I love Virgo. And Virgos are so sexy. Like I said, they're just such kinky, lovely, nasty partners. And you know it, Virgo. I'm a Virgo. Virgo with Pisces, Aries, or Cancer. That's not just my favorite pairing for Virgo. It's my favorite pairings in the zodiac. I could name so many. Just for starters, Doggett and Reyes. Scully and Reyes. Scully and Reyes also for Cancer and Virgo. Yeah, that's just really hot. I love Virgo and Leo. I've talked about Monet St. Croix and Jubilation Lee. Monet St. Croix is a Virgo. I want to talk about Monet St. Croix. I'm sorry I didn't talk about her with the other Virgo characters. She's a Virgo sun. I headcanon her, at least as a Virgo sun. And I always think about those impossibly high standards. She's always called M, capital M, because she's Miss Perfect. And I always think about her in the comics, like having those impossibly high standards and then projecting them onto other people, and that coming back to bite her in the ass. But we love you, Monet. You're awesome. And her and Jubilee. So good. Virgo and Aquarius. Because Virgo is a very feminine sign and Aquarius is a very masculine sign. And they're cerebral, but in different ways. Aquarius is very looking at the big picture. While Virgo is looking at the details. And it's kind of like Aquarius is like sketching out this giant canvas, like the Sistine Chapel. And Virgo's going in and like painting everyone's toenails and like, nostrils or whatever. And yeah, I ship Monica Reyes and Detective Olivia Benson. Olivia Benson is Aquarius. Yeah, Virgo and Aquarius, very, very hot. Maggie Scully also has prominent Aquarius placements. She has Aquarius in like all her major planetary placements. And then Skinner, of course, is a Virgo rising. And then it's just opposites attract. Aquarius being very playful, very energetic, very just in your face. And then Virgo being shy and kind of hanging back. Virgo and Aquarius, very hot. Virgo and Taurus. I love Virgo and Taurus. I'm thinking of Zeller and Bev from Hannibal. Zeller is a Virgo man. I'm going to do a whole video series on Virgo men, so don't worry, okay? Actually, in the future, I'm thinking of doing a video series where it's like Pisces men hit different, or like Aries, Venus women hit different. So let me know what you think, and have a wonderful rest of Virgo season. We got this eclipse coming up. Stay safe, and I'll see you in Libra. Y'all have a good one. I love you.